Namaste children, welcome to your social science history class. Today we will be moving on to the third chapter, the religious promoters and social reformers. The main learning objectives of this lesson is we will be studying about India's religious reformers and their philosophies and teachings, the life and teachings of Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya and Basaveshwara, and the principles of the Dvaita, Advaita and Vishishta Advaita. Children, the period between the 8th century and 13th century is very important in the socio-cultural history of our country. During this period, we had Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya and Ramanujacharya, who were the founders of the three Vedic religions. They lived during this period. The Dvaita, Advaita and Vishishta Advaita are the three major philosophies which came into existence. And we are also having Basaveshwara of Kalyana declared the social revolution against the caste and gender based on discrimination. In order to achieve these ideal situations, the three Acharyas and Basaveshwara preached all the people that we should surrender to God irrespective to whichever caste we belong or creed or the richness, whether he is rich or the poor. He also revived that the society through the Bhakti Marga. Now let us move on to the Shankaracharya, the Advaita philosophy. Shankaracharya. Shankara was born in the southern Indian state of Kerala according to the oldest biographies in the village named Kaladi, sometimes spelled as Kalati or Karati. He was born to a Nambodari Brahmin parents. His parents were an aged, childless couple who led a devout life of service to the poor. They named their child Shankara, meaning giver of prosperity. His father died when Shankara was very young. Shankara's Upanayanam, the initiation into student life, had to be delayed due to the death of his father and was then performed by his mother. Shankara's hagiography described him as someone who has attracted the life of the sannyasa from early childhood. His mother disapproved. A story found in the hagiographies describes Shankara at the age of 8 going to a river with his mother, Sivatrika, to bathe, and where he is caught by a crocodile. Shankara called out to his mother to give him the permission to become a sannyasi or else crocodile will kill him. The mother agrees. Shankara is freed and leaves his home for education. He reaches the Saviti sanctuary along the river in the north central state of India and becomes the disciple of a teacher named Govinda Bhagavatpada. The stories Govinda Bhagavatpada was the guru of Adi Shankara. Little is known of his life and works, children, except that he is mentioned in all the traditional accounts as the teacher of Adi Shankara. He was the disciple of Gadupada. He is mentioned in the first verse of Adi. The stories in various hagiographies diverge in details about the first meeting between Shankara and his guru, where they met as well as what happened later. Several texts suggest Shankara's schooling in Govindapada happened along the river Narmada in the Omkareshwara. A few place it along the river Gangas in Kashi, as well as Badri. The biographies vary in their description of where he went, who he met, and debated, and many other details of his life. Most mention Shankara studying the Vedas, Vedas. The Vedas, what do we mean by the Vedas? The Vedas are a large body of religious texts originating in the ancient India. It is composed in the Vedic Sanskrit. The text constitutes the oldest layer of the Sanskrit literature and the oldest scriptures of Hinduism children. Then he also studied the Upanishads. The Upanishads are the late Vedic Sanskrit texts of Hindu philosophy, which form the foundation of Hinduism. They are the most recent part of the Vedas, the oldest scriptures of Hinduism, and deal with the meditation, philosophy, and the anthological knowledge also. And Brahma Sutra. The Brahma Sutra is also a Sanskrit text attributed to the sage Badarayana or sage Vyasa, estimated to have completed in its surviving from in approximate 400 to 450 CE, while the original version might be the ancient and composed between 500 BCE and 200 BCE. He all studied the Vedas, Upanishads and the Brahma Sutra with the Govindapada and Shankara authoring the several key works in his youth. While he was studying with his teacher, it is with his teacher Govinda that Shankara studied the Gadunapadiya Karika, as Govinda was himself taught by Gadupada. Most also mentioned the meetings of the scholars of the Mimamsa school of Hinduism, namely Kumarila and Prabhakara, as well as Mandhana and various Buddhists. The biographies about Shankara were very significantly and differences and widely inconsistent accounts of his life include the diverse journeys, pilgrimage, public debates, installations of the yantras and lingas, as well as the founding of the monastic centers in the north, east, west and south India. And Shankaracharya propagated the Advaita philosophy. According to this Advaita philosophy, children, Brahma is the absolute truth and the rest of the world is false. The soul is one with Brahma, and life is not separate from Brahma. The word is Maya. He told that the world which we are living is Maya. It is Maya and it is illusion. And Brahma is the absolute truth. People are ignorant. They are not aware of the illusionary nature of the world. They are also not aware that Brahma is the only truth. We should go on the path of knowledge and we have to realize the nature of the world. Ultimately, we should merge our Atma. Atma is nothing but it is the soul with the absolute truth. Which is the absolute truth? Brahma. Only then we can get the moksha. In this manner, Shankaracharya taught the path of knowledge. The human soul has no separate existence, and he expressed this fact in the phrase of Aham Brahmasmi. He declared that Brahma is truth. It has no qualities, no features, and no shape. No qualities means Nirguna, no features means Nirakara, no shape means Nirvikara. Now we will move on to the works of Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya has written many books. On the word index, we are having the Upanishads of Shankaracharya, the Saundarya Lahari, Ananda Lahari, Shivananda Lahari, Viveka Chudamani, Prabodh Sudhakara, the Dakshinamurti Stotram, Bhaja Govindam. All these are some of the most famous books of Shankaracharya and Bhajagovindam is the world famous. Shankaracharya, he traveled from Kanyakumari to Jammu and Kashmir on foot and propagated the Advaita philosophy. In order to spread the message of his philosophy, he established the Pitas. Pitas is nothing but it is the institutions in all the four directions. Shankaracharya gave Indian thinking in a new direction and inspiration. The Pitas, the five Pitas are, we are having in Badari, Jyotir Pita. In Dwaraka, we are having the Kalka Pita, and in Puri, we are having in Puri, we are having the Govardhana Pita. In Sringeri, we are having the Sharda Pita, and in Kanchi, we are having the Kamakakoti Pita. So these are the five Pitas which was established by Shankaracharya. Children, this is one film has also been done on Adi Shankaracharya. This was directed by G.V. Iyer, who named this film as Adi Shankaracharya, and this was the first film ever made entirely in Sanskrit language, in which all of the Adi Shankaracharya's work has been compiled. This movie has also received the National Film Awards for Best Film, Best Screenplay, Best Cinematography with audiography, and also has been known as the masterpiece. So children, please watch this video in your YouTube channel about the film of Shankaracharya. So in the next class, children, we will study about Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya and Basaveshwara. Thank you, children.